gente? What's going on? Welcome to another Café con Primo. It's a big one. It's a really exciting week, and we'll talk about some new music that's dropping this weekend, and my busy ass week from last week. I had a lot of things going on last week, and just been trying to keep a handle on all the stuff that I've been doing lately. So, but you know, like we do in the mornings, we take a little sip of coffee and try to relax, try to, keep our minds focused on the important things. So take a little sip here. Still rocking the Breville Bambino for my espressos, and I switched from the Bustelo that I was drinking to HEB here in Texas. We live here in Austin. Does a Texas pecan roasted coffee. So I've been buying whole beans and grinding them, as I go, and it's so much better. The Bustelo's good. It's all right. It's definitely got a nice dark bold flavor, but for a medium roast, that Texas pecan is phenomenal. It hits really, really good. So I've been drinking that for the last week and a half. So highly recommend. Not sponsored or anything like that, because ain't nobody sponsored anything that we do. Fully independent, except for the folks on Patreon, of course. But I digress. So all right, last week seemed like it became a musical theater week, which I did not intend for the entire week to be taken over by musical theater stuff. But I ended up doing 4 auditions last week. 3 self-tapes and then an in-person audition for shows, as well as I submitted on a bunch of projects as well, like I'm constantly doing, because, as an actor, you have to just be constantly submitting yourself for things. But my agents sent over a couple of things throughout the week, and so I filmed some stuff specifically for those roles and submitted. So hopefully waiting to hear back on those. But the biggest one that I auditioned for was the in-person thing I did on Saturday morning, was the Zilker show. And this year, the Zilker Hillside Theater, their summer musical, they're doing Legally Blonde, which is a super fun show. It's an up-tempo, a lot of contemporary pop type things in that show. It's fun, it's funny, it's going to be a really awesome production. I auditioned for that show. I honestly don't expect to get into that show. The goal of auditioning this year for Legally Blonde, for a show who's, the roles in that show I don't think I'm a good fit for, personally. But the goal was to go and audition for that show and to have my face seen, and to go through that process. I am relatively new to the musical theater thing. If you've been following along, you know that I've only really started doing musical theater a year ago. Pardon me. And so I haven't gone on a lot of, theater auditions like that. I've gone and auditioned for things in the past, and I've done some acting things. And of course, my background is music, recording, studio scene. It's a much different scene and a much different process of going about doing that. So going to the big, in-person audition where you pick sheet music and you handle the accompanist and you go in the room and you slate and you do the whole thing, and then there's a dance call afterwards and stuff, like those big, quote unquote cattle call type auditions. Haven't really relatively done a whole lot of those. And so it's just more and more reps of that process. And every time I do it, I feel a little bit more comfortable. I feel a little bit more aware of what's going on, and I'm able to make specific choices. And I've noticed how my attitude has shifted. Maybe not attitude, my comfort level with those auditions has changed over the last year. A year ago, I auditioned for my first musical theater show, proper musical theater show. And I was a giant ball of nerves. I didn't know what I was doing. I was so nervous, but I signed up for it, and I went up to Georgetown and I sat in my car and had a tiny little panic attack right before going in, but I think that's, the nerves like that are good. It shows that you care and that you're, focused and there for the right reasons, I think sometimes. And it went phenomenal, and but like that level of nervousness and feeling like I was treading water and didn't know where to go a year ago is completely gone. Now when I go to auditions, I still feel nervous and I still feel like I, to an extent, don't know what I'm doing. But I do feel like I have my feet on the ground to an extent when I go to these things. I kind of know what to expect. This audition for Zilker was, in a word, quick. It was the quickest I've ever been in and out of a room. And like everybody, I noticed that like they started promptly, right on time. Everybody was in and out really, really quickly. It was super efficient. And it was awesome. It was a really awesome experience. I didn't feel like I was being rushed, but like it was moving. It was moving. We did the dance call again. The choreographer taught the routine, the little like combination or whatever that we're doing, very quickly, very efficiently, very matter-factual, and we got grouped up and we did it, and thank you very much, and everybody was out. Like, we were in and out in the hour that they specified for us, and so it was a really awesome experience. It was really cool to see an audition kind of go through like that. I feel good about what I did. Again, I had multiple auditions earlier the week, and so, and I'd also had been put on the wait list for that audition. So I honestly wasn't expecting to do that audition. I found out on like Wednesday night, and at that point I had spent all week already auditioning for some other stuff and preparing materials for that, and I just didn't have the mental capacity to try to learn something new, because I thought I had missed the deadline. It had gotten so close to the actual auditions, so I just figured I wasn't going to get a call. And so I had mentally kind of like left that one behind. And so, on a really short notice to try to jump back in and get mentally prepared for that was going to be difficult. So I did use one of the songs that I used for my other auditions in the week, but tried to do it a little bit differently and tried to, tailor it a little more towards the show. So, we'll see. We'll see how that goes. Again, I don't expect to get a call back. I don't expect to be in that show. But it was awesome to go and meet a bunch of folks. And there was a bunch of people that I have been in shows with over the last year that I ran into that I was not expecting to see at the audition. So that was really awesome to get to spend a morning hanging out with some really good friends, some people that I'm going to be in a show with coming up soon. Because a couple of weeks ago, I think I talked about it on Café con Primo, but I booked my new show. It is Bright Star over at the Georgetown Palace Theater. I'm really excited about it. There's some people involved in that production that were involved in Once on This Island, which was my first show about a year ago. A couple of people that I got to work with from Jekyll and Hyde. So I love that theater. Those people are phenomenal. It's a fantastic time. And this is going to be a really awesome show. I'll talk more about it as rehearsals and the show actually, kind of kicks off. But we don't open until May 31st. So we got a little bit of time there, and then we run the entire month of June, Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays. So, but you can get your tickets now. They are available. So GeorgetownPalaceTheater.com. Go check out tickets for Bright Star. So that was last week. And all of that focus really, unfortunately, ate up a lot of the time that I was hoping to be able to dedicate to promoting the new music, because that's what's happening this week. New music dropping on Friday. Now, of course, if you're watching this on Patreon, if you are a Patreon subscriber, which is only 2 of y'all out there, so I know I'm only talking to 2 people here, but if you want to join, if you want to support the music, the creative projects that I am trying to do, that's the best way to do it. For as little as $1 a month, you can go and support me in these creative projects and try to bring more things to the world to share positivity and creativity and all that. But you get early access to videos like this, to music, to scripts, to shorts, to all the stuff that I'm doing, more behind the scenes looks at the things that I'm doing. You can check the links below, of course. Everybody knows about Patreon. But the song is available there. You can download it right now. You can go listen to it. You can download it. There's an Inside the Song that will be coming out later this week. And as well as a little like visualization video. It's not a full music video. It's not performance shots and all that. But there will be a visualization video to be able to watch some imagery that goes along with the song. That'll also be available soon here. Yeah, the song is called Take My Shot, and it is a return to the Latin hip hop that's been in my soul since day one. And I'm really, really excited about it. Song's been, like most of the songs that I've been releasing lately, been bouncing around my hard drive for, this one's probably about a year ago that I started this. But I was, again, self-conscious about rapping again and all of that. And I'm on this process and this journey of like allowing myself to be creative in whatever way that manifests. So if I'm gonna sing, in Spanish, I'm gonna sing in Spanish. If it manifests in hip hop and me rapping again like I did when I was a teenager, that's what it's gonna be. I'm gonna allow myself to be fully creative and embrace whatever it is that comes out. And so this is a manifestation of a lot of the things that I love to talk about: taking your shot, dreaming big, going for it, taking the massive swings that maybe are a little ill-fated, but what is life if not for a chance to make huge swings? And so that's the vibe of this song, is to like see the biggest, most impossible dream that you have and to take a massive shot at it, because you never know what could happen if you do. Like I said, there's Latin hip hop elements into this. There's references to some things that I've been going through and been on my mind when it comes to goals and dreams and pursuing things in life. And I'll get more into the behind the song in another video. But that song, like I said, it comes out on Friday, March 22nd, streaming everywhere. So hopefully y'all go check that out, share it around, and hopefully it becomes the anthem of your summer. Although I do have a couple other like fun summer songs coming out this year that are almost across the finish line. I've got to put some finishing touches on those. But yeah, that's what I'm going to be working on this week leading up to that release. Performance videos, some more promotional stuff, sharing that around. So if you see anything out in the world that is related to the song, interact with it, share it, send it to someone who you think might dig it, and spread some positivity and hopefully inspire someone else to take their shot like I'm taking mine. So yeah, that's pretty much it for today. Like I said, I'm just drinking some coffee here in the morning. I got a little bit of time between some work things that are happening, so I'm probably gonna finish this and then spend the rest of the morning working on a script. My Chupacabra script has been in a state of rejuvenation, I guess you could say. I'm rewriting based on some notes that I got from when I submitted to Austin Film Festival last year. I kept getting the same note over and over again, and I kept fighting it. I was like, no, I don't want that to be the logical conclusion. I don't want that to be the element in the script that people focus on, but it seems to be the thing that everyone keeps focusing on. And so I'm going to give it a try. I'm going to take that note. I'm going to change an element of the story and then allow that to influence the rest of the script. So like something that happens in the first act is now going to be a little bit different, and we'll see how that goes to the end. Spoilers, I've already worked the math out. I understand how it affects the rest of the story, so now it's just a matter of going through and rewriting each scene and moving through the story and allowing myself to, continue to let it evolve. I think it's pretty good, in all honesty. I may have been a little short-sighted or even wrong about what the proper way to tell the story that I want to tell is. I think the change that I'm making ultimately will better serve the story that I want to tell. And so again, I'll make another video diving deeper into that. But if you would like to read an older version of that script, that original version, so that you can see what happens later, it's available on my website. Again, links below, signalpointmedia.com. You can go to the screenplays page there, and you can read La Chupacabra, the one that I submitted to Austin Film Festival last year. I'm super proud of the story. It's like a creature feature horror story set right here in Central Texas around the legend of the Chupacabra, allowing us the chance to reinterpret our own legends and examine what it means to be Latino and how we interact with our own culture, and whether or not anyone has the ability to tell you the quote-unquote correct way to interact with your own culture. So those are the themes of the story. And then, of course, some really fun, creature feature horror stuff. If you like Jaws, I think you'd probably dig this with, like I said, it's got a little bit of that legend, mystical, magical element to it, but mostly it's a creature feature. There's an animal eating people in the town of Rio, fictional town set here in Central Texas, Hill Country. So anyways, that's gonna be my day for the rest of the day. I'm gonna get out of here, y'all. Thank y'all so much for hanging with me. If you watched this at all, let me know down in the comments. If you made it to the end of the video and you've been drinking some coffee with me, let me know what you're drinking. I'd like to know what other coffees everyone else is drinking. Like I said, this Texas pecan stuff is really, really good. All right, I'm gonna get out of here, y'all. Thank y'all so much. We'll see y'all around. And as always, one love.